of Luck. I'm Rene Marie, and I have Damont, right? Damont?
Yes.
Damont.
Damont, yes.
Damont as
Yes.
my co-host today. And please pardon me on my names, because I'm that's one of my weaknesses is remembering names. And but I want you to keep reminding me so that I don't. So I remember. So we have this opportunity to share with you Damont's story and how incredible. He has a documentary called I Know I Can. We're going to talk about I Know I Can. We're going to talk about the faith. We're going to talk about recovery. We're going to talk about the American Stroke Association and the phenomenal work. And he is on the board of directors. Am I correct?
Yes.
The board of directors on the American Stroke Association in his area. He lives in Michigan. We have Facebook Live here. It is an incredible day, and we're so honored that you're joining us to follow us. Let me make sure that I'm seeing who's on so that I could keep everybody posted. Excuse me one second. It's a little technology. We're trying to make sure that we're all on. I got to give some kudos out. I have to before we talk anymore. I want to thank Maria, my hairdresser, for really fitting me in yesterday. She works at Sheer Impressions in Hasbrook Heights. If anybody needs a haircut, she's an incredible hairstylist. And she stuck me in yesterday because we were having some technical difficulties with the Skyping. And Steve Weinberg is the other one I want to give adamant kudos to for always coming through for me as he did just 2 seconds ago on our problem. So thank you so much to everybody for joining us. I'm going to begin because I am so excited about the show today. How are you today?
I'm absolutely wonderful, Renee. How are you? I'm
really good. Thank you for, and we have to give kudos because he really stuck out the trials and tribulations to be, but an exciting way about the Skyping. This is incredible that we could Skype with someone who is in another state. I mean, it is incredible, So don't you think?
Absolutely. Technology is so wonderful right now. Yes.
It is. So let's talk about a little bit how you found, because you found me, I believe.
Yes. I'm every day I'm on a lot of type of stroke groups, platforms on Facebook Live, and when you start connecting with people who are going through the same things like you went through, is you want to get connected to the same individuals. I was a witness of what you were doing on your page and stuff, and I just wanted to really connect with you, and that's just how. That's the power of Facebook Live or Facebook now with technology. We can connect with so many people, and that's just, I think about when I was in school, I met friends from the East Coast to the West Coast, and, I still have friends with these individuals to this day. And I want to do the same thing for stroke survivors and connecting with each other so we can have a platform to help each other.
That's right. We have the platform here. It is incredible. And, your drive and your ambition and your passion to help people and to really bring the voice out and to make a difference and to support our family. There are family people that have had strokes. Don't you remember, your stroke was at age 22, am I correct? Tell us a little bit about your story so that our audience knows.
Okay, well, I suffered a massive stroke when I was 23. After I graduated from Morehouse College in May 95 and got sick in August 95. So, I never had really opportunity, after school to even get into the workforce like I wanted to. But I call my stroke as a stroke with complications. What happened, I was allergic to dye in the CAT scan. And the explosion in my brain would put me in a coma for 2 weeks.
Oh my! Now, wait. Now, why were you going in for a CAT scan?
I was having headaches.
So it was almost a wink that you were gonna have a stroke.
Yes, and while I was, going through the workup for in the hospital, because I went and I was getting I started vomiting, and next thing you know, I knew I had to seek medical attention because I was feeling really, really bad. I went to the hospital, and basically they said I was having food poisoning.
Wow.
Because they wouldn't think that a young individual would suffer a stroke at 23. So, and this is where I'm here today, to bring awareness of what's going on. When I was in 1995, they didn't have the technology with the blockbuster plots and stuff. So just think if I would have had that with the TPAs, my life would be different right now. But this is why I'm so a component for the technology, the research with dealing with American Heart, because if we can prevent some of these strokes with this research, it will help out tremendously. Then you wouldn't have the effects that like I deal with on a daily basis.
Tell us some of your struggles, or tell us like a day in the life of Damont. Damont?
Well, yeah, the day is it's just like a normal day. However, I know just certain things like my movements that I have to work out. Some type of exercise, basically almost on a daily basis. To keep my limbs moving, and and I try to read a lot, to keep my mind sharp again,
Right.
But I'm just 45. I just turned 45 in February, so
happy birthday.
Yeah. So my life has been a little difficult, but however, I had to learn how to adapt to the change of being a survivor, because it really shows what a person has to go through on a daily basis, and this is where it is so important to see the faces of these individuals and understand what we go through on a daily basis. It's not one thing that we can put a Band-Aid on our head and think we'll be okay in a couple of months or a year. This is a lifelong process for us.
That's why when there's two really statistics that stroke is the number 5th leading cause of death. However, it's the number 1 leading cause of disability. But in my thought, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, is our lives have died back. Our paths died. It ended. We had to begin again. We had to really struggle to get into the mainstream again. We're actually blessed because we are in the mainstream of society. But those people that 100% the first leading cause of disability in the country is really devastating. And what's devastating about it, Damont, is that 80% of those reasons, or 80% of strokes, can be prevented if you know the signs, if you keep live a healthy lifestyle. Although back when we suffered a stroke, because I suffered it in 1989, I was 26. It wasn't as advanced then. It wasn't. The knowledge wasn't there. So we really want to thank the American Stroke Association and the National Stroke Association and all of us who are doing our work, because we're trying to prevent strokes.
Yes.
So we don't have to worry about recovery.
Yeah. The prevention side is so important, but it's such limited for the aftercare of the stroke. Right now, like I said, so many people are crying out for help. That's why I'm always on Facebook, so I can different type of stroke groups and everything, because you need that support system to get through this process of life. If it wasn't for my parents, my mother that just never gave up on me, that's like what my family, my friends, with that keep me going, because you have to have that strong support system. And this is why it's so important for Facebook, so we can support each other. I met so many wonderful people on Facebook, that's just sitting there, that's crying out for help, and they can't get the help. Even when I was trying to get help, everybody's talking about their budgets and everything. I'm at the point I just want somebody to help me.
Right. Right. It really should be like the first priority in everybody's lives should be to support and to love and to help people recover. The finances should really be on a part of it. It's got to be a part of it, but it shouldn't be the main and forefront. Like people because most people who have suffered a stroke need ongoing therapy for the rest of their lives, and when the doctors and insurance companies and political world tell us that 6 weeks is all you need in therapy, and 12 weeks. Yeah. And I know you have met the same. I've met people in wheelchairs at home who are sitting home. I can't think of the word that I want to use because I know words are very powerful, but they're not able to move on in life,
Right.
And it's very sad.
Yeah. And so many people are just stuck because I'm gonna tell you my story. Also, I had a counselor that basically said, I had the mind of a 2-year-old. What I can do for Damont. Words, like I said, words help. I mean, it hurt people. And then that discouraged the individual. It really get to the point where the individual lose hope. And this is why.
Hope is so important. Hope is so important.
Everybody needs hope, and what hope means, it means you got to help other people every day. So we have to look at it like that, because people don't understand this until it happens to them. Then they can say, well, I understand now the struggles, because like with me, I went from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane to walking independently. But I had the will to, I guess when I had that counselor at Michigan Rehab that said I had the mind of a 2-year-old, that really put fuel on my flame to really fight through this.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. Damont.
Yes.
Damont. I just want to keep correcting myself so I'm saying it properly. But let's talk about that, because these pinpoint moments are really important for people to understand what is needed to begin the recovery. I was just on a radio program, radio DJ personality Ron Carson has me on once a month, and I did it before this program, and we spoke about what is needed in recovery, and I spoke about you as well. He does a incredible TV show, the radio show, and we spoke about recovery, and we spoke about what it feels like to have suffered a stroke. And I specifically can remember what it feels like. Because back when I suffered my stroke, I remember, because we both have great faith, that God was saying to remember these moments, because in your future you will be using these moments to make a difference and an impact. And I remember, and I will 150% tell you that love is the answer, that you need to be surrounded with the love. So tell us how that, who helped you, who was your coach, your recovery, your counselor, who was it?
It was my mother, who was, that really never gave up on me,
Right.
My mother just, I just lost my mother to stage 4 breast cancer, like 4 years coming up soon, or 5 years coming up soon. And she just like I said, as a mother, she's going to protect her son and stuff. So my mother was the one that really, you know, motivated me to keep on going with life. You know, she basically, you know, was that backbone for me to say, Damont, you can do this. You know, she never gave up, which is a lot of people have to understand. You can never give up. You know, you can never stop what you're doing. You know, every day is a different day with different struggles. Every day it's not going to be the same. It's you know, if life was just, well, we just go day by day, you wouldn't even understand how to just move on with life. You know, but we have to look at everything that's going on for a reason. You know, I suffer, you know, I'm still, not really, I'm still suffering, you know, but however, with the struggles that I go through, you know, I wouldn't change anything in my life now.
Me neither.
You know,
Me neither.
It really opened my eyes, because I have to look at it like this. It's a blessing to wake up every morning.
Absolutely.
You know, and if people don't understand that simple concept, you know, and I sit back when I was in the hospital for 4 months. Wow. You know, I watched seasons change. You know, you have to look at things on perspective and be like, wow, you know, I could be much worse than what I am now. You know, yeah, I walk with a limp, and I still have little cognitive issues, but however, I'm alive. You know, and people would, like I said, when they see me, or they say, well, it doesn't look like anything happened to you.
Right.
What does a stroke survivor supposed to look like? Right. You know, and that's why I said different strokes with different folks. Everybody's stroke is a little bit different with any type of different cognitive issues and stuff. You know, all the technical stuff, you know, a lot of things mentally to stop the progress of people, because I do not wear labels. I don't wear the label of I'm really a stroke survivor. I had to look at some things. I'm an individual who overcame a stroke. You know, but you have to understand, words are powerful.
Very powerful. Very powerful. And
yes,
people don't realize that. Like, if you stop and you tell somebody that, they'll acknowledge that, yeah, you're right. Because what we try to do is we say, well, what has empowered you in your life? And what has been something that's dragged you down in your life? You know, people, when words are really powerful and very important. And what you say on a quick basis sometimes could affect somebody, because you don't know where they're at in their life. You know, people, you look at you and I, and they honestly don't believe that we suffered a stroke from the outside world. Yes. But today on Ron Carson's radio program, I was talking about a really important aspect of our strokes or brain trauma is aphasia. Now, you can't see what's going on in the brain, right? You don't know the difficulties that you had. You know, you had the brain of a 2-year-old. You know, when you were when you were through that. So let's go back for 1 second, because I want to know the day in the life of what your mom did for you. How? Because I wanna help the family members. Because I know, and you know, that we as stroke patients have to fight ourselves. We have to do it ourselves. Nobody could do it for you. In life, nobody could do anything for you, you know?
Yes.
But how I want to support the family members, because it's a life-changing suffering for everybody, not only for the person that's going through it. So tell us just like how your mom, like in a day, gave you inspiration, like words she said. What are family members that are watching us, you know, could take from this show and use in the back of their minds when they're dealing with their family members who suffer strokes? Because sometimes we as stroke victims or stroke patients aren't very kind to the people around us, but that's not from a loving space, that's from a trauma space. So just just give a little bit of advice on that and support for family members around.
You know, I'm going to talk about just having that strong support system. And like I was just saying, you have to have that individual that will support you. You know, like with my mother, she never gave up. You know, it doesn't matter if she had to retrain me for everything from, you know, even how to eat and everything. So you have to work with that individual every day. It's not just a day that you can just stop, you know, or just stop what you're doing. It's a daily progress and stuff, you know.
Right. Right.
From taking me how to hold the spoon and eat again, you know. Then she took me from the simple task of making a bed, you know. To this day, you know, we have to have, how can I say, it has to be progress in our lives every day, you know, where, you know, I do simple tasks that I still do on a daily basis.
It's,
you know,
almost like I am starting a life coaching, awaken your practice, and it's like every day you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to do it every day on a and at the beginning we're not going to be good at it. At the beginning, we're not going to be good at it. We need training. We need coaches. We need love. We need family. We need support. So, yes.
Absolutely. You know, without that support system and that training, you know, it's just like, it's been 22 years for me, and I'm still training my brain. You know, and we were discussing a couple of words in D.C. about retraining your brain.
Yes.
You know, rewiring your brain. You know, so we have to learn. I look at my life as a chameleon. So we have to learn how to adapt to this change in our lives, which is a lot of people can't. You know, that I can't be the same 23-year individual when I walked across the stage at Morehouse. But and now I'm different. But I have more wisdom and understanding of life now. Right. You know, that people have to understand we have to take this in progress on a daily basis, even if it's little minor steps in our lives. But that's progress. Yeah. You know, so many people want this society. It's a microwave society. They want it now, now.
That's because of technology, you know, everything, you know, you text somebody, you email somebody, you know, you call somebody, you want like a quick response from them, and the world is that way. There's no boundaries anymore. There's no guidelines, you know, so I get it.
Yeah, and you know, and I have to really, you know, do the best thing for me sometimes. You know I can't sit here and try to run a marathon. You know, I had to learn my limitations. You know, I still work out. I still, you know, I have a rowing machine, and I just get on my rowing machine because it stretches all my arms and everything. You know, that really helps me out.
That would help me,
you know?
Because I'm a little bit weak on this side. But it is my own fault. It is my own fault because I don't exercise enough. I don't I don't practice my exercising enough. But I'm so engaged and passionate about this world that to me, this is the way I look at it. Like that's not important. What is important for me to get the word out to people. It's more important for me to have worked on this show for a week than to go exercise, because to me, I don't think I'm any different than anybody. You know, and either do you, and either do, but that's where we need to get our family, you know, engaged and reminded that they're loved and that they don't have anything wrong with them. It's just it's a new way of life. It's a new way of life. It's a new way of life.
And like I was saying, we have to learn how to adapt to this change, you know. And no matter what you go through in life, you have to adapt every day. You know, change is good. You just have to embrace it. You know, no matter what's going on in life, you know, and so many people, that's why I said they get stuck, you know, because they think about the past and stuff. You know, how can you, you know, look for the future if you're still looking at the past? You know, I can't say here, well, 22 years I was in the hospital. I sit there, I still think about it
Yes.
and everything, but I sit here and I look at where I am now. It's like I said, it's been 22 years.
That's
so
incredible. It's incredible.
Yes, and just to think about the blessing, because I see the progress now, and it's still one of those things where you have to keep it moving. I have to look at it like a locomotive. It's just got to keep it moving every day.
Yeah.
Truck through.
Let's talk a little bit about what you had said before. We spoke about Washington, D.C., which was...
Okay.
We'll talk about that because we had to touch on the incredible event that we were involved with, mission, the journey that we were involved with the American Stroke Association. But retraining the brain.
Yes.
Retraining the brain. How important it is to surround yourself with the love and have everyone surround. And you know what? You as family members of someone who has suffered a stroke, we need to be advocates for our family members.
Yes.
And if somebody is not being kind or not being supportive of them, then draw them out and get them in a place where the love is surrounding them, because it is so important in recovery, to train the brain,
Yeah. That's just like I said, the platform that you have right now is just to really have that love for others right now, and you have to really have that, to progress on some things, you like I said, everybody want to be supported, even now, like I said, with the technology, we have, this is a platform that we can all sit down and talk now, and say, well, this is my problem. What's the solution? So, we have to look at things on a whole different perspective right now. So we can say, okay, let's help somebody. And this is where my whole passion is now, is to help others. Because I understand how does it feel to go through this process?
Yeah.
The frustrations of certain things that I can't do, that I used to do, and now I have to learn how to adapt to it, but the thing is to having that support and asking, I'm so blessed to have my wife in my life, because she supports me, in everything that I do,
Now your wife is a pastor, right?
Yes, my wife's a pastor. She's been pastoring for 16 years. It's just, like I said, the connections with people. I tell you a story how we met. I just finished the documentary in 2010.
Which is called I Know I Can.
Yes.
From
I Can,
tragedy to triumph faith. Yes.
Yeah. And I was deciding what I was going to do after. So my wife's a writer also. So we met with her. And basically I wanted to write a book, because she's a ghostwriter also. So I met with her, and it was just, God has just connected us.
He's incredible. He's incredible.
And 3 years later, here it is, and I was telling her, about my struggles and what I had to go through. And that was at the process when I met my wife. I just lost my mother, and that was my rock. And but however, my mother always
did your mother have faith? Did your mother believe?
And she really instilled so much things in me. And like I said, I had a grandmother that prayed for me all the time, so we have to really look at, where, like I said, that faith aspect of it,
it's so important. It's so important.
It is just like, without faith in my life, I don't know where I'll be at, and like what I was saying about with my wife being a pastor, and she instilled so much in me also about what I had to go through, and she's a phenomenal woman, you know, that really there in that support system for me, you know. And this is, like I said, a lot of people don't have that support system like that.
That's why you spoke to me about wanting to create a phone bank, you know, so that people could have a place to contact, to go to for the support and the love, and you know, and in all honesty, don't you think that it's not even so much what you do for them, it's really just being there for them, just really supporting them, just like telling them it's okay, you will be okay, you will recover, you just have, just talk the just to give them hope, like you were saying before.
You know, so many people will, I even heard phrases like, well, get over it, you know, you can move on with your life. It's more than that, you know. You have to learn how to, you know, mentally to, like I said, reprogram your brain so you can think differently. Yes. You know, if not, you just, you know, this is why so many stroke survivors that's had a stroke, we have multiple strokes. You know, I've been so blessed I had one stroke. Me too. Me too.
Actually, our board member, Bobby Baby Walker, who's going to be on our show in September, and his wife Kathy, who's his caretaker now, actually just suffered two strokes. Two strokes because he had diabetes. So that he had a stroke, and it wasn't something that he could control so much because that's his body. But he suffered two strokes. So I know how important it is to you know, take care of yourself before a stroke, but after a stroke as well, because you can suffer multiple strokes.
Right. And you know, stress. You know, that stress will kill you. You know, even with me, you know, I try to keep my life stress free. Well, you know, a lot of things, no drama, no stress, nothing like that.
That's hard.
Just try to be at peace.
Yeah, and that's why. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's why we have to have faith.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we have to have faith that God will take care of it for us. Because life is not easy.
Absolutely.
Right? Life is not easy. So you have to have faith that the bigger there is a God, and whatever faith you are, you just have to believe that there is a God. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they didn't have faith, and they weren't practicing their faith, or they weren't they were taught it as a child, but so what I said to them was, you don't want to wait for something to happen in your life for you to then reach out and have faith, because although God would definitely support you and be there for you, it's so you got to think about it in our world, right? Someone who we've tried to be kind to our entire lives, and they're not kind to us, or they're not engaging with us, or they're not just wishing us well, or whatever, they're not having a relationship with us, that's the better word. Then all of a sudden something happens and you need them, and what are you going to do?
Yes. That's like with me, I look at as with faith as just being a servant. I know God saved me for a reason. Yes. And while He saved me, He wants me to help other people. Yes. And it, just like I said, this brought me closer to Him. Where and I know He's controlling my entire life now. So many people come in and they think they're in control of everything. God has a plan for everybody.
Yes, He does.
And when I was in that, like I said, when I was in that hospital for 4 months, and I did a lot of thinking, I had the opportunity to watch seasons change. And that's the most beautiful thing, as watching and I got into the hospital in August, I got out in December, and I watched leaves change. I watched the sun shining at different times.
I mean, in 4 months, 4 months when you're in a bed and you're in one location and you're really have the time to reflect.
Absolutely.
It's a long time. It's a long time. It's almost like the world around you has stopped. Yes. And you know, you really have to think about what's important in your life and what's important in life, and how you can give back to people. You know, it's so important. So I'm so honored to have connected with you on that level. Let's talk about a little bit, because I mean, we've had people state, you know, what an incredible information. So we would like to do this once a month so that we could. But I want to talk a little bit about your documentary. I know I can. You know, I know you just said to us you met with your wife when you were working on it. So tell us a little bit how God inspired you to do it, and how people can get it so that they could look at it. And so tell us a little bit.
Okay, well, the documentary was produced by my best friend. His name is Han Bird. We were just, you know, he was there when I suffered my stroke, and he always wanted to get into the film industry. So basically we was, you know, I was talking to him. He was like, "Hey, Damont, how about just doing a documentary on your life story?" And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So he, you know, we basically he produced it. We had a lot of people from individuals who helped us through the documentary, from production wise and music and everything, and we just did it. You know, the documentary is 53 minutes. It's nothing but my testimony, and it's not just about stroke survivors. It's anybody going through bleak situations in their life. Right. You know,
because we have compassion for all, everybody. You know, everybody has something, you know, whether it's cancer or whether it's heart conditions or strokes or mental illness or, you know, or just struggles in life, you know, or unemployed. You know, you have to have compassion for people. You have to have compassion for people.
And this, like I said, with the doc, you know, it's like I said, it's not just about stroke. It's about your faith and your walk in life. Period. You know, I have been through a lot of things in life, but you know, these last 22 years of my life has been, I have to say, it's been a struggle, but it's been a blessing. You know, where it really showed, you know, like I said, my faith of what God is doing in my life now. You know, the documentary, it really will open your eyes on a lot of things, you know, what an individual go through. You know, I had the opportunity to really release myself, you know, just to expose yourself to be on film. You know, the reason why we did the doc, you know, because we wanted to see, you know, show the faces of these individuals. You know, our whole thing was, if you can see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. Right. You know, and that's what the whole process that we were trying to do, you know, because so many people are crying out for help, and they have to see the progress of what I've been through. You know, you'll see a part on the documentary where, you know, I was, you know, my mother was stretching my legs out. You know, the part where I'm on the treadmill, the part where, you know, where we just have to, you know, I had the opportunity to go back on campus at Morehouse College from to that's my old stomping grounds, you know, for all my Morehouse brothers out there, you know. So
hello.
Yeah. So we had to really, you know, just to show, because a lot of people can see, you know, from when I was down in school and stuff to where I am now. I'm, you know, be able to show the change in my life. You know,
the progression, the growth,
the growth of it, you know, and then now, you know, after, like I said, we produced it in 2010. So now we're ready for the second part of it. And we're in discussions with, you know, with Juan now have the second part of it, because our story is still going, and we have to move on a lot of things on some stuff right now and to see the progress in our lives. We don't want to get stuck, where we're at right now. We just have to keep it moving, as a believer, we have to understand life keeps on going.
Yes.
I have been blessed to have people around me. Like I said, if Juan Bird was there when I suffered the stroke, and even like with the doc, it's that connection. He was my best friend, and even now I still have, that on the documentary, all those individuals who was on that documentary are those the people who supported me,
right,
and that still
right.
support me to this day,
right.
So it's like I said, it's so important that even like I said with the documentary, and I use it as a tool to help other survivors. Just let them know that they can do this.
Yes.
Because they don't have any hope, and just like if you can see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. So people can move on with life, because it's hard, but having that support system is so important right then and there.
And we need to support the support system.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
they get tired and they get frustrated. And they can think clearly, where it may take someone who suffered a stroke that's suffering from aphasia multiple times compared to them to really think about something, to say something, to do something, and that's and that's what our purpose is about. Our purpose is
absolutely.
about to support everybody and to let people know and to really help anybody. And if anybody wants any information on wants to reach out to us, and we don't claim to be professionals in that area. I mean, we've experienced it, but we know that you need to have everybody in your life. You need to have your faith. You need to have doctors. You need to have your family around you. You need to have a support system around you to help you grow. However, we are here if you don't have any of those pieces and you need somebody. We will reach out to somebody that we know, because we have connections and we have links and we have relationships with organizations and like the American Stroke Association, who, I've had people suffer strokes and I've referred them to American Stroke Association, and they have told us call this or call that one, or so they've been an incredible thing. Before we get into the American Stroke Association, tell us where we could purchase your I Know I Can from Tragedy to Triumph DVD.
Okay, right now we have not really established. We in the process now of establishing a link for the purchase the documentary. So that has to be probably within another week or so. Then we probably have to produce a little bit more, because we're about to find some more. We have to really produce some more documents.
Yeah.
So just give me a minute. So we're still working for that process. I'm trying to see. Give me, like I said, a week or so we can set up something.
I love is a long time ago, right before I wrote my first book, Rene Marie's Stroke of Luck, I remember looking at this webinar by Steve Harrison. Steve Harrison is Jack Canfield's press agent, and he said, just do it. Just do it. Don't wait until you have everything set up in it. Because you're nothing. The time is never going to be perfect. You can always go back and make more, like you have to. You didn't have to create 1,000. You just created the documentary, and I love that about you. You just do it. You do it, and God will provide for the next step.
Absolutely.
And
and He has, continually blessing us. And like I said, this is for us to do the second part of it now. So we we are in a process now just to really take this is to help other people. That process has really been helpful for me, and I'm pretty sure it helped for individuals. Like I said, the documentary is not just about me. It's other stroke survivors on there. You can see the faces of these individuals.
Right.
Like a friend of mine, Matt, he's on the documentary, and also he's a stroke survivor, and also Newton. Those individuals was my support group right there that really supported me through this process. And even like with Juan giving me the opportunity to produce the documentary, it shows the people that really stuck with me, and like I said, having real true friends in your life is so important. You find out who your real friends when you're going through a process like this.
You do. You do.
So
yeah.
So
your wife, the pastor, just commented on our show, and she said, for copies of I Know I Can, From the Tragedy to Triumph documentary, contact, Damont. Am I saying it right? Damont.
Yes, Damont. Yes.
Via your website, and he will send you a copy. So your wife, she's watching. Yeah.
I'm telling
she's
you,
incredible. It's a teamwork. It's teamwork. It's teamwork.
I love you.
Thank you.
I love you. And
I love you, and I don't even know you.
Yeah. And this is what I'm telling you, having that support system around you, where she knows I could probably get caught up on words or something like that. Then she was right there for me.
Yeah.
And
that's incredible. She just gave us thumbs up. Thank you. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. So if you would like to purchase that, because they probably have one or two, or they'll just put it on back order. They could probably order one or two. But let's talk about in the future offline of how I can help you set that up. Because I know with my book, they can order directly from the company.
Okay.
And they can order one book. So I didn't have to make a lot of copies for it.
Okay.
So there are ways to do that. Do that. So I just thought I'd throw that out to you. Anything I could do for you, please don't hesitate.
Great.
Don't hesitate.
Thank you.
Let's talk about, because we only have a few minutes, if you don't mind. We could go over a little bit on the show because we have so much to cover. And once again, we are going to do this once a month. And while I have everybody online, please reach out to us via Facebook, via Twitter. My Twitter is ReneMarie77. Do you have Twitter?
No.
No?
I gotta get up with it because you told me to get with it.
That's okay. I'll channel it for us.
Okay.
But send it to us. Any questions you have, any information you want, please post it to the Facebook, or you can send it to our email addresses, what's your email address?
Damont, Damont, Goolsby, GOOLSBY 95 @gmail.com.
And I will link that on the bottom of our screen when I upload it to YouTube. But say it again, and do me a favor, can you say it a little bit slower, because if they're writing, they can't get it down.
Oh, okay. It's Damont, Damont, Goolsby, GOOLSBY 95 @gmail.com.
And my email address is Rene, R-E-N-E, Marie, M-A-R-I-E, languageoflove@gmail.com. And if you have any questions, or you want either one of us to answer a question online, please post it. We will definitely try to answer it. If we can't answer it, we will reach out to the American Stroke Association, or doctors, or neurologists, or physical therapists, or whoever you need us to help you with. We're there for you. So please, let people know. And this program will be on Facebook for forever. It will be on Facebook, and I will also upload it to YouTube, which is Rene Marie 777, my YouTube channel, and also to our website, which is www.ReneMarieStrokeOfLuckTV.com. So there's a lot of ways to see this. If you watch the show and you like the information, you want to share it with somebody, you could share it on our on YouTube channel, you could share it via Facebook, or you could share it via my website. There's a lot of ways that you can help us share and bring awareness to strokes. Is through this social media, and please share it. If you know anybody that has suffered a stroke, or a family member, or somebody who wants support, somebody who wants love, or if you want Damont from in Michigan area to come and speak at something, he's more than willing, and I'm more than willing in the New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania area, or wherever God takes us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about the American Stroke Association and what an incredible lobby on the Hill it was to be a part of that world. And I got to send kudos out to Sharon Bean and Judy Marlowe Rotway, who's on my foundation, for introducing me to Sharon Bean, and for Sharon Bean who introducing me to Corinne Orlando. It's been a remarkable association.
Yes. It's just a pleasure to be able to be a part of an organization like American Heart Association. I've been a board member, it'll be 2 years coming up now. And, once they gave me the opportunity to say, well, what I was doing, I was in the community trying to help other people. And they just said, basically, you'll be a good fit to sit on the board, because, we have to look at, yes, the prevention side, it plays a major part, but the recovery, the aftercare, the post-stroke, for the survivors. So they seen what I was doing for the last couple of 17 years or 22 years, and they said, well, would you be willing to stand up, sit on the board? And that was another opportunity to really help other stroke survivors, to say, well, I want to be a part of something. And this is where, that's where we are now, so we can really help other people, so people can see what a stroke survivor looks like, what a stroke survivor has to go through on a daily basis.
Do you have any excuse me one second. Yeah. Do you have any photos of you, other than on your documentaries, of when you had the stroke?
I probably have to look through those.
I'm just saying, because I was just thinking, like, I have to post one of mine, of what I looked like, back then. But that would be important for them to see how we, how much we've got, much we've grown. And the other thing is, it would bring hope to family members, stroke patients, and to stroke patients themselves, so that they could know that there is hope, and that within time they can become the best they can be for themselves at the moment. Yeah. So I'm sorry.
I mean, and it's just like with the pictures and stuff. You can see the progress. That's why I did the documentary. Also, I exposed my scars and everything. Like I was just telling you, my stroke, I would call it a stroke with complications. While I was in the coma, putting that feeding tube in my throat, my esophagus was ripped. So, I had to stretch my stomach up to my throat. So this is like when I did the documentary and I exposed all my scars and all the stuff that I had to endure, But I always look at, on the biblical side, and say Isaiah 53:5, with his stripes I'm healed. So we have to look at, all the stuff that, that I endured, but however, he healed me to where I am now. And like I said, that restoration process, it happens through with faith of God, So we look at this. And even like I said, working with American Heart Association, that's just another part of my testimony of what God is doing now.
Right.
And this is where, people have to understand, he connecting people. Like I said, I wouldn't have been with American Heart if it wasn't for Melissa Thrasher. She was helping me, and even like when I was, we were just in D.C. with what is her name? Kristen Hurley, at the American Heart, to have those individuals who supporting me, who was there at DC and walking with me, and also with let me think of his name, our contact person. That's one thing I hate about this.
That's okay.
My memory sometimes go back, but the individuals that I met at the American Heart that's so passionate of helping other people.
Right.
And that's, like I said, that's why I'm so blessed to be a part of that organization. And when we're in D.C., to see so many people, nationwide, who going through the same process like I went through. And like I said, this is my second time in D.C., and every time, I learned so much. Then I meet people. I met you this last time, and also I met another individual, who was I forgot her name. She was a marathon runner, and she's just an awesome individual, and she suffered a stroke, and she's still running. So when you meet people like that, and know their passion and what they're doing, that's why I just want to be a part of that. And that's, like I said, it's a blessing to be a part with you, Rene, so we can connect with people. And this is where everybody needs to come out and really tell their story and share that, because that's a part of healing.
Right.
That really helped me. When they basically said, "Well, would you be willing to sit on the board?" That really helped me to say, okay, I'm gonna be a part of something now.
Right.
And when we connected, and just these are opportunities right now for people can move on with life. You never know what this is going to take us next week, next year, or anything. So, and this is where I continually, moving through to really help other people, and it's not just for me. I'm just, like I said, doing what God has called me to do, is to help other people. So, and he's keep on connecting me. Like he connected me and my wife and everything. It's just like I'm just sitting there now. I can see a little bit clear of what plans he has for me. So.
But but as faith and believing in God and Jesus and believing in and having great faith, sometimes, and we'll understand this, is sometimes you have to trust in the unknown. Like, you see a little bit of your vision of where you're going, but he has not told you the whole story. He's asking you to trust in him and to just go the guidance and go the way, he'll lead the way, and we just walk in his footsteps and follow. So it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible.
And this thing is I was getting to the point I was at fear of, well, what would people think about and everything. Like you said, this is my first Facebook Live, Skype.
Yay!
Yeah. So and now I feel so comfortable with you, Rene, where it's just like, okay, now I can move on with stuff. Because you never know how you inspire other people, no matter what you're going through. And you inspired me, to move on with my life and stuff. It maybe a lot of people think that, well, he looks like everything, but this is what those things that inspire other people. And I'm inspired by people who moving on with life, So this platform is amazing for individuals. Now people can feel probably comfortable to say, well, I can move on with my life, and this is, like I said, this is powerful.
But do you mind if I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah.
You can move on with your life, but so don't you agree with that it is hard work, determination, and pursuit? That's a good word. Pursuit.
Yes.
But another piece to that is not to look at you gotta envision the end result, but you just have to stay in it and go the journey and value and love and appreciate each and every day that we get to be on this earth.
Yes. It's just like I said, it's just a blessing to wake up every morning. Just the most simplest things like that, you know, where that journey in life is what it is a journey. You know, we have to understand that life is what you make of it, you know, but we have to keep on moving regardless of what's going on in life every day, you know, and it's a process, you know, so let's just, you know, like I said, we can sit here and try to think that everything's going to be okay, but, you know, you never know on a daily basis, you know, but we just got to keep it moving, you know, and you never know what's going to happen in life, so we can't just continue just going with the everyday flow of things.
I'm just letting our followers on the other video to let them know we've gone on live and went again.
Okay.
Went on live again. Got cut. Wow.
Well, at least we know that
there's a limit. Yeah. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So, I want to talk about one more thing, and I know we're over an hour, but I want to make sure we get in. You have a Survivor Network on Facebook.
Yes. It was Survivor Network is a platform on Facebook where, you know, we just post certain articles and information or motivational pieces, you know, and it's just like I said, it's an opportunity to connect with other survivors. You know, my wife, you know, helped me establish it, but, you know I would like to do more, and this now, it will help us to link through, you know, with Survivor Network. It's like it's another platform, you know, to even bring and help other people, empowering other people. You know, I have so many things that I want to talk to you offline about what we can do.
Right.
You know, so
we are. Like we're going to work together.
Yeah, this is like a platform where, you know, we can just motivation, you know, or people's stories, and, you know, like I said, that connection with people. So, you know, everyone has a story to tell, you know, so let's start supporting each other and helping these individuals to help them move forward in their lives, because it's just like that, like I said, when Juan gave me the opportunity of the documentary, that connected me with a lot of people that opened the doors with helping people with their recovery. So we have to look at, you know, and value those connections with people, even if it's Facebook or Twitter or whatever. You know, we have social media for a reason, to connect with people.
Yes.
And like this is, like I said, it's a powerful tool. Let's use these tools that we have and bring every like survivors together. And like I said, survivors got to unite together, because, you know, everybody is struggling or suffering, you know, but we have to, as individuals, let's bring together as a community to help people, you know. So that's my whole thing with Survivor Network. Let's go ahead and bring us all together. Let's support each other, and, you know, let's help each other.
That's it.
You know, and that's my whole mission, is, like I said, with Survivor Network. So, you know, even if it's from a motivational post or whatever, somebody can look at it and say, okay, that can really help me out. Now I need to, you know, I have to really get to the point where I can get on social media on a daily basis. You know, I have to allot that time, you know, to do that. You know, that's why I say I have to really start planning that time to do it now. You know, my wife is, you know, she's on, you know, all type of her books and everything, you know, so she has to manage all of that, and sometimes for me it's really difficult. But now, having that opportunity, that platform, now I need to really see how, like, the social media aspect is so important. Because like I said, I wouldn't have been the opportunity to meet you, Renee, if I didn't have the social network with Facebook.
Right.
And I know it's so many people out here. Yeah, and I know it's so many people out here. Like Valerie. She, Valerie.
Yes, Valerie's going to be on my show August 25th.
Great. I met her on Facebook. And she said something about the documentary, and then she was writing a book, and she sent me a copy of her book. Her book is awesome, and this is where we're saying about connecting other survivors and stuff, like, so we can really help other people, and just imagine if all the survivors come together and, work together and, help people with, like, even like a network with other stroke survivors. And like I said, we know people across the world that's suffering strokes.
Right.
So let's connect all these individuals through, either like via Facebook or start, helping each other. Because I'm not too proud to say that I need the help.
Absolutely. And the American Stroke Association is doing a phenomenal job in that. Welcoming people to become a part and to volunteer and to do their testimonials, and we're both blessed to really be a part of that. And I always say this, that it's not about me being successful or you being successful, or me against you or me being better than anybody. It's like we all need to come together at the table and work together, because together we can make a difference in the world.
Absolutely.
My foundation's mission, one of my our logos is together we are lifting our voices and changing the face. The face is the misconception that it is elderly people that suffer from a stroke. Changing the face of strokes and aphasia locally and globally around the world, because we have this platform to change the concept that it happens to old people. It's just, I had I interviewed Mark McEwen, who suffered a stroke, who used to be the CBS, gentleman from CBS. And he said, like, people have that misconception. He was in the news. He was a streamer, and they have that misconception that it is elderly people. So we need to change that. We need to change that. We need to better the world and the education on it. So we're blessed to have this platform to do it. And I would love, if your wife would join you one time for a little Skype, to hear about her thoughts and how she survived it, and how she found saw something in you, a little light in you that she supports, because she had to see a light in you, and she's wonderful,
We can definitely set that up. Like I said, my wife is an awesome individual. When like you said, seeing that light in people, and she saw something in me. When I met her, I just lost my mother and everything, and I was trying to move forward. I was moving forward on that setback in my life also, and she's just a passionate person to say, okay, you are a great individual, and she continually supported me through everything. This is like, I was just telling her, we just celebrated our 3rd year anniversary.
I saw it on Facebook, yes.
August 7th, and it's just like, this has been the best 3 years in my entire life. She is my rock, that really hold me together and stuff, like, when she's just I just can't say other than she's an awesome woman, and she really is my whole life, So
so we're gonna close in a few minutes.
Okay.
But I do want to give you the opportunity. There's three things I want to do. I want to give you the opportunity to, make your final statement. Because I know, like, sometimes when we go through a show, we think and we want to make sure that we pinpoint some important details of why we're doing this information. I do want to remind everybody to please email us. We'll post our email addresses on the bottom. If you have any questions, any information, any comments about the show or information you should need, we'll find it for you. We'll find the answer for you. The other thing is, please tune in through all our venues on Facebook Live, on my YouTube, Rene Marie 777, or on our internet TV channel, which is Rene Marie strokeoflucktv.com, so that you can review this at any time. And then I would ask, this is off the cuff, is would you say, because I know you're a pastor as well? I saw you on your...
No, I'm a deacon.
A deacon. I'm sorry, a deacon. Yes. I saw that on your email to me.
Yes.
Maybe you want to say a short prayer before we close. Would that be too much to ask?
Great.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And then I want to close with singing a little Amazing Grace. What do you think?
Great.
Okay, so take your platform and share. Really tell people what your message is.
Okay. My whole message is to provide hope for people, the aftercare of stroke. So we have to really look at things, and if anybody goes through bleak situations in your life, we have to understand there's a process of everything and getting your life back in order. There is life after stroke, no matter what you're going through, and this is, like I said, right now it will help other people, and that's my whole mission, is to help people. Like the acronym about hope is helping other people every day.
Yes, I agree, and we're going to do this once a month, and we're gonna answer any questions you have. And really, it really has been a blessing the way God brought us together, because there has to have been a bigger picture, a divine intervention, for us to have been blessed to come together. And we want to thank everybody for joining us today on both sets. I'm actually recording this for the YouTube and for our TV channel, so it's not going to break up on that, and I'll actually hook up your to Facebook Live so that you can view it all at once. But we are blessed. We are so blessed to have this opportunity to share some of our testimonials and bring hope, like Damont said, Damont said, to all of you, to the world. So this show was about hope, about hope through love that we would like to bring to you. So Damont is going to share a small prayer that our intentions, bringing our intentions to the world, because even if you don't have faith and don't believe, it really is important for us to stay true to our ethic and what we believe, because we know that God has done this. The work that we're doing is working for God and through God. So I would like to ask for him to say a small prayer.
Okay. Thank you, Father God, for just waking us up in our right mind, be to praise your name and give you all the glory, Father God. And just thank you for just connecting us, Father God. And thank you for your healing powers, Father God, through just everything that's going on in our world, Father God, right now, Father God. So just put this together, Father God, and just let people know about the recovery process, or even through that people is going through any setbacks in their lives right now, Father God, and just let them know that God is a healer, Father God. And Father God, just thank you for just giving us the wisdom and the understanding of what you're doing in our lives, Father God, just to help people, Father God, because we're supposed to be here as good stewards and in this world, Father God, to help other people. So let's keep on praying to bring things together for your kingdom, Father God, and let's just let you know that you are here for everyone, Father God, just to help them, and just let them know your love, Father God. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So do you know the song Amazing Grace?
Yes. I'm not the best.
Oh, that's
vocalist.
okay. You sing from your heart. You could just hum. You could.
Yeah.
So I think
Yes.
I always like to end my shows, especially important shows, with some music because music is very healing. Music is really a healing tool. So, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's blow our kisses. We blow kisses. Ready?
Mwah.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Looking for a reason, searching for a